Alright, I just gotta check the audio real quick to make sure that everything is working here. Also, I just noticed, oh, if I put that in full screen, it crops, so let me do this. I don't want it to cut into full screen. And I can move chat over here and see what everyone's saying. There we go. And let me check on my phone to see how it is. And we should be good. Baxter and Blue. Hey, how you doing? Alright, I checked my audio, and the quality is pretty good so far. A little blurry on my end. Oh, that's because I was looking at it through my phone's data. There we go. This looks a lot better on Wi-Fi. I swore I fixed the stream setup to have the text come in from the top instead of the bottom, but I guess it is what it is. Just gonna pop in before my DoorDash arrives. Yeah, don't worry, this ain't a crazy stream. We ain't doing too much here. Mostly I just wanted to keep working on some artwork and stuff, and I had a bunch of people that are like, Tay, I want you to stream more, and it's like, yeah, I get it, I probably should be. I guess it's just weird having people that actually want me to do streams. But I ain't gonna be posting it tonight. I ain't pinging anyone in the Discord server. I ain't doing any of that. Just gonna be a fun little chill night. And as for assets, I'm working on the this stuff for the Spy Fox video. Mostly I'm trying to get better at drawing all the characters so I can get a feel for the art style. Bum bum bum. Ba da ba da ba. Also, y'all gotta let me know how is the audio too. It's me. I'm person who wants you to stream more. Thank you. I like your art style. Thank you, Baxter. This is I've been honestly trying to do better. So like I'm taking what I've learned and I've been upgrading more and more. I'm gonna go back and touch up Spy Fox. I guess here's a still for the beginning of the stream for reference what it looks like. I'm gonna redo the shading because honestly the dithering ain't it. The dithering ain't it. The hard shadows do a lot better justice for this. Can hear you well. Music is kind of quiet. Okay, I had it kind of quiet on purpose because usually the music's too loud actually. But I will turn it up a smidge. I'm playing music via VLC though, so you know. I'm just listening to whatever's already downloaded on my PC. No need in stressing out my PC anymore, honestly. I love how Fop is looking at Spy Fox like he's his older brother. Pretty much. Fop is like, bro, what are you doing here? Let me get a preview up just so I know what I'm actually doing. Alright, good. So now you can see everything I click and do. I'm actually doing, I drew all this with my mouse actually. Mostly because the Spy Fox designs either use a lot of straight lines or simple curved lines. So I find the mouse to be the most easy to use. I tend to like to use my drawing pad when I'm doing like freeform drawing and sketches and stuff. But honestly, drawing with the mouse is pretty decent. So yeah. Now that, it's funny, the art style finally clicked when I started doing Russian Blue. And then, you know, I might actually, if you guys want me to, I might actually add color to them. I get scared of doing color, I'm not gonna lie. I think there's something nice about just this regular, you know, more grayscale black and white approach to it. But I do like to add just like, you know, the eyes and stuff. Simple stuff. All right, let's go to, what did I forget? Let's go back to lines. Okay, let's go back to the line art. There was a few things I needed to touch up. For one, I forgot to fix Gilbert's glasses. I meant to add this little bit here. That's literally all I had to do. Part of me also wanted to, like, add stuff to his glasses like this. But I think that looked a little too goofy. Not to mention, his eyes are pretty already exaggerated for the most part. Also, let me pull up my... I forgot. It's not going to auto-change, so I'm going to have to physically change all the music myself. Ain't that fun. Let's see, what happens if I go to... I got a lot of stuff downloaded, honestly. Surprised I made it this far with all my music. I still have stuff downloaded from when I was in high school, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Let me see what music I got in here. Oh my god, I have the freaking Muscle March OST. Ren and Stimpy music. Oh, I'm definitely using that for a cartoon episode. Let's see. Space Super Monkey Ball 2. Why not? I'll listen to some Monkey Ball music. Let's see. Where is the music at? Was it Monkey Fight, Dog Fight, Monkey Race, Monkey Shot, Target? So much music in there. Anyway, I'll just play this. I draw exclusively with a mouse. Yeah, that's... Honestly, drawing with a mouse is pretty base. Plus, it's easy to keep your hands stable. VLC player? Oh, yeah. VLC is amazing, man. Although I've been hearing on the street recently that apparently some people tend to prefer, like, another program for doing that kind of stuff. I don't know. I think VLC has been so good to me that I can't really abandon it. I don't really have a reason to abandon it, if I'm gonna be real. What art program do I use? I am using Aseprite, actually. It's technically made for only sprite art. I'm gonna be completely real with you. That's why you see all these pixels when you zoom in. This program is made for pixel art. I am not really doing pixel art. However, I love the UI and the usability of Aseprite so much that I'm willing... I still bypass all that and just make art in here regardless. Plus, I think it gives the art a bit of a unique vibe, you know? Well, not to mention Spy Fox is kind of already drawn in a style like this, so it kind of fits even more. Alright, so let's go back and fix these lines. Let's go to the darks here. Got this. Alright, and we're gonna fix these colors here. It shouldn't be too hard. So let's actually just change this by default. And we're gonna change these to be hard shadows instead of the dithering. Dithering does... I've started to learn that all my old artwork where I used to use dithering because I thought it looked cool, it's not really, it ain't hitting as hard as I thought it was. You know when you draw something and think, oh man, I think this would look cool, and then you look back at it later like, why was I doing this? And that's kind of how I feel with a lot of my artwork when it comes to dithering. It's not as cool as I thought it was. Either that or hard shadows look a lot better. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna change this and this. We'll just go through and change these easy peasy. There we go. This one is the way to overlay chat on top of my screen, but something like that. Also, I was playing, might as well talk about some of the games I've been playing recently. Pokemon Legends ZA just came out. I've been enjoying that quite a bit. It is funny to see all the discourse online that there's like a fair amount of people that don't like the game, but there's a lot of people that think the game's really good. And I mean, fair enough. It's Pokemon, you know. You can't really, I feel like there's not a whole lot to defend, if I'm gonna be honest. But at the same time, like, there are some cool ideas being done. I think what I like about Legends ZA is just the whole new battle system and stuff. I just don't know why so many YouTubers are trying to act so stuck up, being like, this is your chance, guys. Say it with your wallet that we don't want these poorly made games anymore. And it's like, I will give when it comes to Pokemon and their games and stuff, I will give Legends Arceus, like the Legends games, a bit of a pass because I like how they're like more innovative titles than the traditional, what is it? They're more innovative than the traditional like turn-based stuff. The whole real-time strategy thing is already cool in of itself. I find it like everyone wants to beat up Pokemon because it's like traditional RPG fans don't like it because they're like, oh, it's not that mechanically in depth, which like I kind of get it. Yeah, Pokemon is very simple, but it's like, what's wrong with wanting to play a simple RPG, you know? I mean, let's not call it too simple. Pokemon does have some really deep mechanics if you're one of those like highly competitive people. I know my buddy Thaz is like really crazy good at Pokemon, and the things he shows me completely boggle my mind. But yeah, at the end of the day, Pokemon is a very easy RPG in the sense. But I'm like, what's wrong with an easy RPG? Now, if you act like Pokemon's the only good RPG, and that, like, you know, it started it when it didn't, yeah, then that's when things get a little weird, because it's like, alright. Y'all got no reason. I will say this, though. Thinking, actually. It's good to branch out. If you like Pokemon, you should definitely branch out and try some other RPGs. And you don't have to be like, I'm playing the Pokemon Killer, I'm playing Palworld or Digimon or something. It's like, it's good to branch out. I wish, like, if I were to give myself some advice, my younger self some gaming advice, definitely branch out when it comes to playing different games. If anything, I mean, you'll find a new game you like, or you'll learn what kind of games you don't like. Hi, chat. Hey, good to see you, Mullet. Also, looks like Blue just dipped out to get his food. Nice, nice. Do, 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 do. Just realized we really don't need this light layer here. We're gonna delete this, actually. And we're gonna keep that on the color layer, because that makes more sense, actually. I like the weighted lines I did for her more over there. I need to do a bit of a better job with the weighted lines over here, though. I feel like I should have weighted over here and then made it come down. So, like, if I go to lines, and I bring it up to 10, go here. I feel like it should start thick and then get thinner right about there. Same thing for up here. Here to here, go in, then thin it out. That looks a bit better. Also for the hand, I think I want it to be a little bit more like that. There we go. Because the hand does not need to stick out that far. Well, I'll just shift it down a little bit later. Little tweaks here and there to make it look better overall. Same thing for the eyes. I feel like I should have kept it thick there, back to the lines, and then thin it out towards the top, and then wrap it around. we go. Go back to the dark colors. Some of that. Blitzy, hi. Good to see you, fam. Hopefully I don't bore you, but I'm just doing some artwork. I'm trying to be productive, and I feel like one way to make myself productive is just to put myself on stream, so I feel a little more motivated to do work, because it's like now that I know I have some people watching me, or they'll go back and watch the stream, or just to hear me yammer or something, it's like, well, now I have to be somewhat productive, and I can't let ADHD win and just start meandering off and playing Pokemon again. Alright, cool, you're doing some art too? Nice. I love it when people do art. If there's like one thing I'm always telling people to do, it's to keep being creative. You know, we got all this AI art stuff and junk going on around, and it's like, now is not the time to... I mean, art block is one thing, but now is not the time to give up on art. Even if you're not the greatest at art, you know, like myself, I think it's still important to try and do more art regardless. Plus, I think it's cool when other people do art regardless of their skill levels. It's like reassuring to know, hey, more people are doing this. I should join in too. Go back to the dark colors here. Let's see. There's really no need for it to be there, but whatever. I'm doing an A10 Warthog? Oh, sick. Let me know where you post your art so I can check it out later. Alright, that bit right about here. I did not think too much about where the shading was going to go in this picture, and you can kind of tell. Also, I was really stupid. Let me erase this. It doesn't make sense for the shadow for the eyes to be over there. They should technically be over here. Lighting wise, this makes more sense. We don't want to overdo it. Just pretty subtle like that. That looks good. And I want to add some more line weight over here. So we go to lines. We want to have a bit of a thicker base, I'd say. Bring it up here. I'm going to curve this off. Then sharp angle decline right about there. I don't post my art. I'm too self-conscious and I just really don't want to post it. That's okay. Hey, the important thing is that you're creating art though. Even if no one sees it but yourself. Honestly, that's another good tip too for a lot of people, and sometimes I gotta remind myself is that it's just good to make art and you don't always have to worry about who sees it. Because I know, one thing, it's very easy to get caught up in posting art online and then feeling discouraged that, hey, my art's not getting seen. And I deal with a lot of that, especially when it comes to like posting videos and stuff, but just because people don't see your art or like it doesn't mean they don't like it, if that makes sense. It usually breaks down to just not everyone sees stuff at the same time. Plus that, and you know how algorithms are online these days. Alright, go here. We're gonna make that we're gonna make this tie a bit thicker. I'd like to have some better line weight on this though. Can I like, let me like shave it right about there? Same thing with here. Can I like do that? There we go. That looks a little bit better. Same thing for over here. Let's slice that down a bit. Better line weight. Drag that over. I hate AI art. It's just so lazy. Oh, it definitely is lazy. Not to mention, it just steals from people, too. Some people try to justify it, but there's really not much of a justification you can make for it. At the end of the day, it's taking other people's artwork. I know someone that tried to use the excuse of, like, you know, oh, it's similar to people with how they look at other people's art and get inspired. And it's like, dude, robots can't imagine. Robots can't get inspired. Robots don't see other people's artwork and get inspired and go, oh, I would like to make something similar to that. They see something and they just take it. There's a big fundamental difference there. Yep. I'm pretty sure you saw the example of, like, comparing AI art to, it's like you're at a cake baking competition, and instead of, like, baking their own cake, they, you know, go around to the competition, take a slice of everyone's cake and put it together, fuse it into one big cake, and be, see, guys, I made this cake. That's basically all AI art is. Like, bruh, you did not make that. Oh, darn it, I had the wrong color set to the second one. Hold on. There we go. Does it need that much? Probably not, but I'll just taper it off a tiny bit. A little bit there. I know you're usually supposed to use highlights to this to, like, signify more of, like, a shine, but to me it's just general highlights for wherever the light is, and maybe it doesn't look too right, but I think it's decent. I think that's the best part about art. There's no rules to it. That there. I also want to start drawing, like, a background. I don't know why my music won't, like, go through the... Oh, it keeps hitting the loop option. Let me turn that off. For a second, I thought Spy Fox wore gloves, but he does not. Alright. The touch-ups look pretty decent. We got better shading on him. Technically, this part is white, but there's so much white already, I feel like even this part gray is actually a bit better. My art, my rules. Let's pull this down for his foot, and then we can, like, taper off this line here. Same thing up here, taper this down, and voila. Well, a little bit more. Hey, Chicago, good to see you. You love Undertime Slapper. Oh my goodness. That joke is never gonna die on this channel, is it, huh? There we go. Just shave a bit of that off. Actually, no, maybe I should keep this part as the thick side and then thin it out over here. So, like, go up and around and down there. There we go. That's not too bad. Have you heard of Warhammer 40K? Yeah, I have heard of it. I don't really play games like that, but I know of it. Is that what you're into? Mullet, what even is an undertime slapper? Old dead meme that some people are dead set on keeping alive by any means necessary, it seems. Let me go to my references. I just realized I don't think I added the little mark for Spy Fox's tail. We'll make a copy of this shading and we'll reuse it for the colors if we add colors to everyone. That might fit pretty well, actually. I only see that because it pisses you off. Honestly, it doesn't piss me off. I think it's funny. I think like months ago when everyone kept spamming at me, I was like, what is going on here? But no, it takes a lot to genuinely make me mad. Let's see. I'm just digging through my references real quick. There we go. All right. I think like right around here is when his tail, but I can just use a regular color for that. You know what, now that I might as well fix FOB too. Everyone's getting upgrades. Let's go to this, let's go to the darks, and then we're gonna go and we're gonna fix all this. Yeah, this shade looks a lot better for doing black and white drawings already off the bat. This is 10 times better. And then we're going to take away the dithering. And it should hopefully look a little bit better. I think trying to add unnecessary detail is where I falter as an artist. I think mostly it's because when I want to draw something, I keep thinking, oh, I need to add more to justify it looking cool, and that's not always the case, honestly. Sometimes less is actually more, which is quite funny. The saying here all the time. It's because you said my art, my rules, and when we paint our miniatures, we have the rule of cool, so it just reminded me of that. Oh. So what's the meaning of this art piece? What did the author mean? There we go. Honestly, that looks a bit better with just the hard shadows. Yeah, I should have definitely done this from the start. There we go. That's not bad. Let's try to do one for like the shirt here. So if I go to this. Oh, I dragged it under the wrong layer. That's why. I'm an idiot. Alright, let's do the same thing here. Fascinating. Chicago, I think you're the fascinating creature around here. All the unhinged things you say. But it's okay, you're our little Chicago. We support your quest for world domination. So, Jubeat stream when? Nice try. Nice try. Getting me to play more Jubeat. That is not happening. That is not happening, bruh. Also, that's a freaking mobile game. There's no way. I mean, I could stream it in the world's most weirdo, complicated way, but at the end of the day, no. That is not for this. Hello, Milk. Bleh. Good to see you. You haven't even played it. Yes, but I've seen gameplay, and it scares me. I'm already autistic enough for the games I like to play, like Pac-Man. And the whole Namco Generations thing. Where is it? Oh, that's the Sonic Gems collection. Where am I? Sonic, whatever, we'll listen to Gems collection. I want the other one. That's good enough. Play War Thunder. What? What is this, a sponsorship? You expect me to get, like, 300 free gold or something? Just to make sure I'm not going crazy, War Thunder is definitely that game that a bunch of YouTubers have been sponsoring, right? I'm pretty sure that's like one of the games that have been sponsored a lot. Play Pikmin. You must suffer the grind? Oh no. There are very few games I actually like enjoy grinding in. But honestly, that's like if I get like a solid few days off of work. Other than that, these days I'm so busy, I can't even be bothered. I feel bad because there's like a lot of really good games out there, and then it's like if the gameplay loop is way too grindy, and it's not like I mean like, oh, I think I deserve to have every unlockable now, but I mean like too grindy as in like a sane human being cannot enjoy this game without having to like play this every single day of their life, then that's when I kind of like tap out. Which sucks too, because it's like for stuff like something like Marvel Rivals, I was really enjoying Rivals when that game came out. But I don't know, it was feeling like a bit too grindy for me, and when you got a full-time job and you work like 12-hour shifts and stuff, you kind of like learn to really prioritize how important your time is, you know? At least for me in particular, it's like, I can't keep trying to hit the grind on this game. I'm not gonna get anywhere. Actually, I am gonna go somewhere. I'm gonna go insane, that's what it is. Yeah, that's just War Thunder, but we still love it. Who is we? I mean, honestly, I'm pretty sure the game's popular. If it's getting sponsored that much, then clearly there's something good in the game that keeps it alive. But again, now you see stuff like that, it makes me think of like how are games like Raid Shadow Legends still like operating and going, but again, there's a game for everyone. Some people just love the grind or AFK type stuff. I never understood those games, though. It's like, don't you actually want to play the game? And I'm very skeptical of RPGs that, like, we have an auto battle feature. Because it's like, if your RPG has an auto battle feature, I'm sorry. I don't care if it's even a traditional RPG. That seems like bad design, in my opinion. Because it's like, if the gameplay is not engaging enough to the point where, like, you know, something as simple as a basic battle isn't fun, interesting, or offers any sort of challenge, then it's like, then it's best to take like the Earthbound approach or like other like Nintendo type RPGs where it's like, oh, you're so powerful that the lower leveled enemies, like, you just walk right through them, which is, I think that's quite funny, honestly. More RPGs should do that. Like, if you're so severely over leveled and you encounter a weaker enemy, they just kind of die on the spot. I like that. I'm pretty sure other non Nintendo RPGs do that, but you know, those are the ones I can think off the top of my head. Raid Shadow Legends is literally just gambling. I'm not surprised, actually. There we go. No, but it's still fun, but the grind is long, yeah. Trails does that? Actually, do new trials. And that's the thing, is that I know there's a lot of really good RPGs out there, and I've just never really gotten into them because of the time sink. Like, I feel bad for saying this again, but like, Persona 4. Or 5, technically, actually. I wanted to get into Persona, but I couldn't. It's just that it was... I played the game. I played for a few hours, and it was decent. But the problem was, like, the game was so long, which isn't bad. It's nice to have a long game you can sink your teeth into. But it's like, I couldn't... There's some RPGs where it's like, if you don't get anything meaningful done, you're gonna be... I get lost every once in a while, and then I come back after a few days, and I'm like, what was I doing? Thank God for RPGs that actually, like, remind you of what you did last. I don't know why more RPGs don't do this. There's a few that do it. But more specifically, Pokemon Platinum on the DS, not even the remake did this. If I recall correctly, and this is a really cool feature I really wish more games would do. In Pokemon Platinum, if you didn't play the game for, I think, like, over a day or two, what happens is that if you were to boot the game back up, you would get this little, like, black and white flashback showing what you did previously in a little journal. I think Emerald may have done that, maybe some other games. I haven't played every single Pokemon game, so, you know, call me a fraud if you want. But I do remember, because Platinum was my childhood game. It would tell you, oh, I went here and I caught this. I battled this person. I did this at this route. I love that so much, because then instantly, you know, I'm able to get a quick snapshot of what I did. I'm like, oh, I was working my way up to this place. Yeah, Diamond, yep. I freaking love that so much. It was so helpful to me as a kid. Platinum was your first Pokemon too? Yep. Platinum was my first Pokemon game. Technically my first Pokemon game I own. I played a tiny bit of Emerald before that, but like, it wasn't my copy. And I just kind of messed around. I remember thinking, oh, this is a cool game. But yeah, Platinum was my first game I owned by myself without, you know, having to borrow it from anyone. I'm trying to think of, like, because, like, and that doesn't even need to be like an accessibility feature. I feel like that's just like a bit of like common sense good game design and UI implementation that more devs should add. A little, hey, this is what you did last time you played. Because, I mean, back in the day, you know, when people had less games and distractions, jumping back in an RPG probably wasn't that hard because, you know, you probably only had like a handful of games to mess with. So getting back into something wouldn't be fairly difficult, but these days, you know, good luck trying to keep anyone's attention for more than a minute without having to do a bunch of Subway surfing TikTok edits to keep someone's attention. There we go. RPGs are so cool. Yeah, RPGs are pretty cool. Again, like I said, I gotta play more of them. If y'all got any suggestions, you know, throw them in my list for later in the year. I'm always looking for cool, fun games. You know what? I wish there's a category for short RPGs. And now, what classifies as a short RPG? I'm not sure. You know, would you count 10 hours as shorts? Would you count, like, what counts as a short RPG to you guys, actually? Miitopia? Like, unironically? Really? How many hours counts as a short RPG for you guys? Because it's like RPGs versus AAA games. Now, and yes, RPGs can be AAA games. But what I mean is, like, a lot of people are like, oh, this AAA action game takes 60 hours to complete, you know? So, what's the equivalence for that for an RPG? What's an average time it takes to complete one versus a short time? Because if I recall correctly, I think the Mario and Luigi RPG games, not counting the latest Brothership one, I believe they're all like fairly short from a RPG perspective, you know. 20 hours? 3 hours? Alright, Milk says 20 hours. 20 hours for an RPG? Okay, that kind of makes sense. Because let's be real, I feel like the first 3 to 5 hours of any decent AAA RPG is like, it's usually filled with, well, depending on the game, it's either filled with tutorials or, you know, you gotta do the early grind to actually be worth fighting anything. 3 hours? Is there even a 3-hour RPG? You know what? What's the shortest RPG out there? I feel like Undertale's a contender, you know, if you're going for like one specific route. I feel like Undertale's pretty short. Persona 5's 100 hours. Of course, 20 hours feels short compared to that. Yeah. But that's the thing, though. What I mean is, like, is Persona considered a long game in the RPG category? Or is Persona 5, like, you know, swimming in that time range of, oh, that's the average time for other RPGs? Because I'm mostly speaking from my experience of, like, oh, when someone told me, oh, yeah, this game takes around 100 hours, 120 hours to complete, I was like, oh, God. All right, we fixed him over here. This looks pretty nice. We got Fop fixed. We got Spy Fox fixed. Why can't I speak? He doesn't look too bad. Pretty on model for the most part. Russian Blue. I added just... I tweaked her design a little bit. You know? Her eyes don't really look like this, but, you know, I wanted to give her a bit of a more sassy vibe. And I'm not going to be accused of, like, oh... I made her thicker by adding boobs or something, but like, nah, this is exactly how she looks in-game for the most part. I fluffed her up a bit more over here to just kind of balance her design. Also, one thing you don't see in her original design, you don't really see much of her arms or her shoulders. And looking at her original artwork, she seems to have a very angular design just like Spy Fox. So I decided, why not? I gave her more, you know, angled shoulders and stuff. I'm pretty proud of this pose I did of her, actually. I like this a lot. I think I did this one on the fly, because my original pose was just to have her hand on her hip over here. Actually, let me pull up the sketch layer. Wait, you guys want to see something funny here? Look at the sketch layer for my artwork. You want to see something that's scuffed, all right? Let me hide this. There you go. Bruh, look at that. Oh, man. It is a night and day difference. But this is why you sketch. Spy Fox is even worse. Look at these sketches I be doing. I don't know if I sketch right, but I mean, everyone draws in different ways. But for me personally, you know, when I sketch, it's pretty scuffed looking. And then if I enable it, there's the finished part. Oh, there's Gilbert. It's funny, Gilbert, I had a pretty set idea of what he looked like. He's not really that hard to draw, even though they never show his full body, but... yeah. Hello. Hey, Hype. Good to see you. Persona's long? Oh, really? 20 to 40 hours is what I consider the average length of a JRPG. Squished head? Oh yeah, this is actually what her design looks like. She legit has a football-shaped head. So 20 to 40 hours is a average JRPG length for you. Okay, okay. I can feel that. All right. So far, we got 3 of the Spy Fox characters done. We could try Monkey Penny, or we could try the Dr. Quack. You're talking about the you're talking about the sketch? Yeah, yeah, Squish head for the sketch. All right. So I got a couple options of what I could do next. I could try to work on drawing some backgrounds for my video, or I could try to just do more character designs. What do you guys want to see me do? You want to see me try to draw some backgrounds, or like do another character from the game? I feel like I'm improving, which makes me kind of happy. Maybe this isn't the smartest idea, but literally after I'm done drawing a character, I just extend the canvas again. Let me go back down to layer 1. Go here. Oh, that's the wrong color. That's still the wrong color. God dang. Am I really that stupid today? There we go. Alright, let's go to the sketch layer. War. So these are some of the characters from the game. Spy Fox, the main character, obviously. And there's a couple other characters. I decided to draw Gilbert because there's no fan art of Gilbert online anywhere. From what I saw when I typed in his name and then inserted Spy Fox, like, there's nothing online of this guy. So I was like, you know what? Let me be the first to make some Gilbert fan art. My man's selling trinkets. I'm proud of him. Oh, you're talking about the jump catch game? Oh yeah, I got some stuff enabled. So on the screen, as you can see, obviously, when you talk and type stuff, it pops up over your little avatar. I don't know if other people know this. Also, why is the timer still active? Let me hide that. Also, some people don't know this, but you can use text commands to change and edit your character on screen. You can choose you can choose between like a cat or anyone on the Smash Bros. Ultimate roster. You can enable bombs, actually. If you type an exclamation point, bomb, what happens is, it literally, if you have enough points, it will spawn one and blow up people in your way. You can also type in attack commands. If you type in, like, attack, and then, someone's username, your little avatar at the bottom will go and attack. Someone just did it. I just saw that happen. But do I still have it in the description of YouTube? I used to have a link to a document that would tell you how to enable all the commands. I kind of removed it because people stopped using it. Because people just use whatever default avatar they were handed. But I wanted people to know that, yeah, when you come to my stream, the best part is that I save all the data for people that comment here. So when you come back to a stream, it saves your character and you don't have to worry about retyping in all your settings again. The link is still there. I just read it. Oh, sick. Yeah. So yeah, go to the description. There is a link that shows you how to use the commands and, you know, go wild with it. Have fun. Go attack someone in stream. Just not me. Also, get off my head. Also, if you're bad, I can just do this. Hold on. I can just, like, move you. Let me see. I never changed my character back. Well, guess what? I'm putting you over here. Let me, I'm pinning you here. There you go. Yay, baby jail. You know what? Milk, I'm picking you up too. I'm placing you here. Mala, I'm picking you up. Gotcha. You technically can break free, but I'm not going to tell you how. Have fun. Let's see if you guys figure out how to get off there. That's going to be pretty funny. Look at that gay baby jail. Bam and bam. Oh, look at y'all stuck on here. Free me, heathen. Yes, I have captured you all. That's right, guys. You're all going in the jar. Oh, yes. Welcome to the jar. There is no escape. Move left, run, not the jar. Oh my god. Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs. Wait, how did you get free? Hold on. Oh, I didn't know you weren't out there. Hold on, Hype. Let me fix you. There we go. Let me put you in the jar. There you go, buddy. Defy me and you shall be put in the jar. Oh man. Let me put this over here real quick. The best tomboy. Let me get you in there too. Alright, there is a way you can bring out. I think if you use the bomb command, I think you can get out. Mullet's trying to jump. I think the bomb command breaks you free. I'm not sure. I can't remember off the top of my head. You can try it though. Let me out! Oh no, guys, watch out. The jar's filling up, guys. The jar's filling up. Oh wait, probably not the best color to use. I meant to use like blue for water. I tried the bomb, it didn't work. Hold on, let me see if I can move you again. Oh wait, I can't break you guys out. Why can't I grab you guys now? Oh, Chicago got free somehow. I don't remember. Oh! Milk got free. Mullet got free. Maybe it's just a little delayed when I click on it. Let me drop some bombs for you. That ought to fix things. There you go. Free! I have no idea how to get you guys off. Let's see. Let me do this. I'm changing your character. You're gonna be Pac-Man now. Let's see if that works. Smash Pac-Man. Oh, well, you're Pac-Man now, but I couldn't get you off. Oops. Let me see. Will that work? Nope, that's not working. Let me see. Can I fling you? Let's try that. I can fling me. See, this is why I need to stop messing with stuff. Wait a second. I think I know what I gotta do. I think it's right-click? No, it's not. Yeah, I kind of screwed up here. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, Pipe got free. Y'all gonna have to, you're gonna have to get yourself down, buddy. I'm sorry about that one. Actually, maybe I can just, like, reset you. I don't want to delete you. Hold on. Spawn. There we go. Fixed it. I just despawned you and respawned you. Alright. I'll stop goofing off now. Bro will do anything but draw for real? Alright. Let's see you draw something. iPod. #1 hater. Leave me take in. Alright. I think I'm gonna... Drawing backgrounds is gonna be weird for this video. Because the idea is I want one room that I can move around in. So I'm gonna try to draw a room inspired off my office where I draw and make videos. So let's see. Other artwork stuff. Oh, there's Turbine. There's my little buddy. Bunch of Ditella art. What else we got over here? How much of this stuff is in here? Oh, I forgot about this one. Oh. Yeah, that one's pretty ominous. It's past your bedtime. Alright, file. Let's make a new folder. We're gonna make it, And here's the thing. Do we make the canvas size the same size as the game? Or do we just make our own canvas size? What if I just did like 1920 by 1080 or whatever, right? 1920, 1080. That's the average size. Bam. Alright. So, we got our setup here. Let's make a background. We're just gonna use some regular colors like this. I think this is the same as this one. Yeah, it's the same background color. And then we'll use this black color here for the sketches. So let's make a new layer. We'll name it sketch. Do you take requests? Chicago, I'm not good at art like that. When I do art, I'm very like slow and methodical. I wish I could. Honestly, if I had the ability to draw like some of my friends and just pop off something in like 10 seconds, I would happily do requests all day, every day, because that stuff is pretty fun to do. Unfortunately, I suck. Full res and then downscale. No, let's stop, because that's actually part of the idea I was thinking. But it kind of scares me if I should do that or not. Sketch. You're gonna make this a 5 pixel brush. We can make this a 3 pixel brush. Yeah, why not? And we'll use a different color. Let's use this dark blue. And then I'm going to pull up some SpyFox backgrounds for inspiration. So if I go here, I'm gonna drag in some stuff. So let me drag this here. So here's one scene of the game. And when I was studying the art style of SpyFox, right, you know, there's barely any straight lines, or if there are, you know, everything's like very angled and offset. You know, not everything's drawn appropriately. It's got this cool, wacky art style I love. And then even like certain scenes, so like you see this scene here, this is a close-up scene. But then look at something like this. This is the full scene. So like when you're playing in-game, actually this is what the actual resolution of the game is. The actual resolution of the game is 640 by 480. So if I'm making scenes for a video, technically, do I want the video to be in widescreen, or do I want to make the video in a 4:3 ratio? Because I could get away with that if I wanted to. Don't know how well that would work out, but I feel like that would be pretty cool. You know, what do you guys think? Should I make the video 4:3 ratio? Or should I stick with like a 16:9 one? Like, yes, the game wasn't a complete square, but like this would fit 4:3 actually. Yeah. I feel like this would be like the best way to go. Make the video in a 4:3 ratio. What's an HD 4:3 ratio image I could use? That's just 720p, right? 720 by 480, I think. Let me see this. Hold on. Let me try this again. Let me do 720, right? By 480. Bam. Oh god. Remember when this was considered HD? 720p being HD. That's kind of wild when you think about it. Alright, so the game was 640 by 480. Oops. Actually, that's no bigger. That's actually about the same. $1440 by 1080 is 4:3 at 1080p. Thank you, iPod. Okay. See, you are useful for something. Look at you, you adorable little thing, you. Being useful for once. Okay, so we'll do 1440p, and then we'll do 1080. That's cool. Okay, so we can still work in a 4x... So yeah, we can still make the video in a 4:3 ratio, but working with a higher resolution. I like that. Let's see. Now all that matters is making the background. I could do a few things, like easy perspective is like something like this. Like everyone's done stuff like this before. Let me use like the quick line tool. Bam, right? Bam, bam. And then you got the corners for the room. Shabop. Look at that. Suddenly we're looking into a room. We got the four walls. Doesn't get much better than that. Now drawing in perspective, that's going to be kind of weird. I will say, like, my room I do have a computer desk in the corner of my room, and it comes out like this. Drawing in perspective is so fun. Hold on, let me see. If I'm correct, it should go here, and then the corner of the table goes here. Corner of the table would technically go off screen here, and then it would come up here. And then you would have, like, the table legs and stuff, right? Like that. I have a weird desk. Mine has, like, those X legs. So it's like I go here with this one and then here with that one. And then I know, like, my PC's under here. Look at that. Look at that. See? Honestly, though, having a more scuffed approach with, like, the drawing is probably the key to imitating this art style now that I think about it. You gotta have the thick lines. You gotta screw around with the perspective a bit. I think that'd be pretty cool. Studying an art style is pretty cool. Generally, I like it. I do wish I was able to figure it out immediately, but, you know, you do what you can. Oh, yeah, but examples. So, what I was talking about for, like, the video stuff and what I'm planning to do. See how there's, like, there's this main scene here? So there's, like, a room, right? And then he's not here now, but, like, when Gilbert is here in the scene and Spy Fox walks over, the camera cuts closer to a more detailed scene of this area. So what I want to do for the video is, like, have a room, and then if let's say I go to, like, my PC or something, the camera cuts to a close-up over here. And it would be very easy for me to animate, and I wouldn't have to worry about too much, because once everything's drawn, it's set, and none of this has to move at all. However, to set myself apart, I would like to give my characters, like, a boiling line effect from when they're standing to help them pop off the background a bit more. On top of that, I might just also mute the background colors to make it a bit easier to see. So it's like, how could we take this table I have and Spy Foxify it, right? Well, the first thing is to, let's see. Let's take a look at the trinket booth. So it's like, it kind of cuts in, then cuts out, cuts in and out, you know? No regular straight table does that. Really thick lines again, and then the line starts off thick, gets a bit thinner, and then goes back from thin to thick. So, how can we imitate that? What can we do for that? Well, let's try going for a thick line. Let's go all the way up to a 20. Is that too thick? That could be, but let's give it a try. Why not? So we're gonna go like this, right? And then we're gonna go like this. And then we get to the corner, we go back here. And we like dip down a bit and then dip upwards. You know, dip up a little bit, dip down, dip up. Could look a little scuffed, but this is the point of stuff like this, is learning and experimenting. Alright, so the corners start off thick and then it gets thinner towards the middle. So it's like, start here, get really thin. Oh, I didn't hit the transparency. Start here, get really thin in the middle, then come out like that. Start here, go there, come back here. I think it's a bit too thick. I'll probably go from 20 pixels to maybe 10, but I think you can kind of get the vibe off of it like this. if I do this, go here, here, and then match that back up. And then replicate that, and then on this side. That could work. And then I got this going in the corner. Alright, I'm enjoying this a bit. Let's see. Move this here. And that there. Same thing, reverse here and there. Mess around with those angles. Whoops, wrong one. And I gotta like shave those down a bit. Let me shrink this down, and then we're gonna like clean up this. Slice off a tiny bit of that. So it's not too abysmally thick. I like them thick, but you know, don't want to get too crazy now. Angle that in, then angle that way. Alright, go out, in. Malta, I'm so good at this game. What are you doing to be so good at this game? I'm a little scared now. How would I draw like my PC out here? How can I make it like offset? Maybe I made it like a bit wider instead and then brought it up here. See, the line would stop there. Let's bring it back down to 10 pixels. I feel like 20 is a bit overkill. Whoops, I was just like, what happened there? Chicago, you can't just hire people and tell them to start playing Jubeat now. Yes, hello, feds. I would like to report that Chicago is promoting illegal downloads of Jubeat. That's right. Their address is right over here. Feel free to pick them up. But I can do that. Of course. We can put like what? Window here. Little offset window. Yeah, actually, let me go back down to like 5 pixels. Yeah, that's probably better for like sketching stuff. It's like, oh, curve in, go out, and then, haha. Oh, man. And then, like, what, all the blinds are here, so, like, I'll put that there, blah, blah, blah. The rest of the window can go, like, there, whatever. I got you to play the Me Plaza DLC. I will get you to play Jubeat. I don't know. That's a nice try, though. Nice try. Ooh, flower. And the idea is to have little animations and stuff play in the background while I talk about the game in the spirit of, like, Spy Fox and everything. I know what. And she's working on like a flower, so like there's a cool little animation she's doing with the flower, little mouse coming out of it and taking the flower away. That's pretty cool. So like what I would do to help give some context to that. Let's see, what would I do actually? I think I would make like a flower pot or something, right? And then in that flower pot, the flower could go here that she's making. And then when the animation plays, it goes from here to there. That would be kind of cool. So like, yeah. Yeah. There's plenty of cool ideas I could do with it. It's just a matter of putting it all together. This is kind of the hard part of any video. Is like, alright, I know what I want to do. I kind of know what I want to say. Now the hard part is like getting a set idea of how I'm going to make it work. And then again, there's the legs for the table. One's off screen, the other one goes there. I'm kind of working within perspective. Then again, if I really wanted to have that wacky, wavy perspective, let me look again at like the environment again, right? It's like, what are we looking at? It's kind of like a, there's like a wide shot, almost like a panorama view. Almost like a pan view of an area, but there is rooms in here. So like, let me bring up some footage of the, let me look back at my Spy Fox footage. If I bring that up, let's see. Gotta dig down at the bottom real quick. Here we go. Spy Fox. Let's go to gameplay folder. And then let's go to... I'm actually going to go to the Wii version real quick because... Start recording. Alright, and I'm back. There's a couple extra rooms in there that were not there. You know what? Why not? I will show off my gameplay on the stream. Not like there's really much to see, but, you know. I'll put it up there. Let's do... Not window capture. We're going to do... Yeah, we'll do window capture. Create new. Select window to capture. VLC. Bam. Can you not share VLC on OBS? Oh my god. Oh wow, it actually blacks it. It blacks it out by default. That's kind of crazy. Is that just for an anti-piracy measure? Probably. Really stupid if so, because there's like a bajillion ways you can get around that. Dang, alright. Didn't know they were gonna do that to me. Alright, we'll remove that. Yep. Well, there's another way of doing it. Let me just do this. I can just literally just do display capture. Do a new one. Automatic, What's your Wii capture setup? Nothing too fancy. It's like literally my actual Wii plugged into a capture card, and I have an HDMI converter for my Wii, so I can plug it into the capture card. Nothing fancy. It's literally just the most basic of the basics. I'm pretty sure there's a much better setup I could use, but I'm not here to be fancy. I'm just here to get some decent footage. Although I would like to see what is the optimal setup for capturing Wii footage. Because, I mean, it's already fairly low. What is it, like 480i or something? Like, Wii games, like, leave a lot to be desired before, you know, we got to HD gaming, which is kind of insane. Anyway, let's remove this. Let's try again. Let's do display capture. Okay. There we go. Well, now this kind of works. Now it's just streaming my entire stream setup. So this is what it looks like from my POV. This is my POV when I'm doing stream art. So there you go. Congratulations. So all I'm looking for through this stream is some of the environments, honestly. And then I'll screenshot these and use them. So like this room, for instance, this is a good example of a room I want to use. Let me screenshot this real quick. Actually, let me use some crisper footage so I can actually see what I'm doing. Let's see. Spy Fox playthrough. Here we go. This is a lot cleaner looking. And we're back. So yeah, I'm gonna use like a screen cap of this. So I'm going to screenshot this, and we'll use it as inspiration. All right, any other rooms I may have missed? On top of other rooms, there's like many different perspectives. Like, I like this. I'm not sure on like what the name for it is, like film world or something, but like this is like an angle. Like, let's say you're in like, imagine a box and you're in like the top middle of the room, like looking straight ahead. I don't know. The perspective in this game is weird, but I like it. Let me get another screenshot. These are the type of environments I should be trying to replicate. How am I going to do that? I don't know. I'm not that artistic when it comes to replicating this stuff. Are there any other rooms in the game? Not much in rooms. My first playthrough was fairly tame, though. Oh, the little gadgets, too. I gotta find a way to save that. Here's another good example of, like, a room in Spy Fox. I could try to, like, recreate something like this, actually. You know what? This looks like the cleanest room I could try to recreate. We'll do something like this. All right, with that, I'm going to turn off display capture because we don't need that. All right. It's not too shabby. Get this back up here. So we're going to save this. Save. And done. Also, I just noticed the music turned off like a while ago. Oopsies. Let's see. What can we listen to? Josh has some good music. He makes some good arrangements. Let me listen to some Castlevania. Let me throw some of that on. Yeah, there we go. Okay. You know what's another thing I should do? People, I saw a trick online. People were like, oh, you want to draw in perspective easier? Use Minecraft. I should do that, actually. Am I going to boot up Minecraft now? No. But I will probably boot up Minecraft later to, like, get perspectives of rooms and stuff. Alright, so here's one room. I don't know how I feel about this one. Because it's like, the environments in Spy Fox are not that clean or straight looking. Insert joke here, but in reality, let me bring up like this one room. There's a bit of a curve to it, honestly. It's like offset. It's so weird. We're gonna nuke this entire page. This is a fun little test though. Only you guys will know this ever existed. We're gonna delete the sketch layer. Alright, let's make a new sketch layer. Blender. No, I am not using Blender. Nice try. Alright. We got some decent stuff here. Alright, let's try to recreate one of those rooms I saw, but in our style, so... We can kind of freestyle it. We can, like, start off on the corner here. And we're just gonna, like, make a wall that kind of, like, curves inward. Like this. Oops, why is my second color purple? Come on, man. You know what? This is actually a good time I can use my drawing tablet. I'm gonna be real. I'm so used to using my mouse. Since we're doing sketches, I might as well use the drawing tablet. I mean, my best friend literally gave it to me. Why not use it? Come on, Zay. Use your nugget. Accept my friend request again. On what? Are you talking about? It's about Discord? It's on Judy. What are you guys talking about? Are you having B-plots within my own streams? You were what? Maybe I was what? Alright. Plugged in. Let me get my pen. There we go. Got my pen. Using a mouse? Yeah, I was using a mouse. And then we're gonna have like this corner of the room curved in. Let's see. Gotta screw around with perspective a bit. Like curve this wall over here, and then do something like that, and then we'll move that over there for the wall. Same thing for this one. We'll like curve it this way. Actually, we'll make it offset. Why not? Really push it to its limits. This could look decent or really bad, but we'll find out. Also, another thing. The offset colors. I love these here. This is something I want to take into consideration when doing the artwork here. Very simple shading also. Like rooms are shaded, characters are not, unless it's like a hyper-specific scene. Oh, the music stopped again. Is there a way to stop doing this? What if I just highlight everything, right-click, and then do open? Will that work? I think that will work. Yeah, let's go, baby. Boring stream. Need to play Juby to stay engaged. Hey, go right ahead. I ain't holding you hostage. Gotta bring out my inner goofiness design when it comes to drawing stuff. I'm always used to using straight lines, so it's like I gotta kind of break free from that. Let's draw a window there. And we'll draw like a computer here. I'll draw my computer. Technically I have two monitors, but I'm gonna just do one because I am not here to be fancy. Perspective this one. that there for a table. Yeah, let's just get some messy sketches out. Why not? Jay is okay. I haven't been on stream for more than half an hour, but the art and the music have been fire so far. Oh, thank you. I mean, I try to draw well. This is kind of all I've done the last 2 nights. Has been studying the Spy Fox designs. For those that joined late again, I've been studying the art style, and that's why I've been drawing this. And now I'm studying the art style of the rooms and the locations, so I can try to make my own, hopefully. We'll see how it turns out. But I appreciate you vibing with everything so far. We'll have like a computer here, because why not? So actually, if we have a computer there from that perspective, we actually cover a bit of the table. And we'll have it like this. Some of this there. Yeah, I know it looks like a box, but whatever. Actually, it's gotta have a bit more flair to it. I know, I keep restarting, but I gotta think. How would I draw a computer in the Spy Fox universe or style? It's gotta have a bit of a... I'm thinking like a little bit of like a dent in the side, and then it curves over. Yeah, that's a way to do it. And then you pull it in some more, and then curve it here at the bottom. Something like that. That could work. I like that. And let's bring out the eraser just so we can like realize this a bit more. That's not bad. Why does the music keep stopping? VLC, please. Is it not gonna go to the next song? Okay, it is playback, media, open folder, select folder. Okay. I think it's gonna work now. It should just keep playing. I don't want to keep having to manually toggle the music on. Alright. Computer, we'll do that over there. And then gotta have a keyboard, right? So I'll have some sort of funky looking keyboard here. Maybe throw in a little dent at the top. You know, bam. Throw in a mouse and have it connected over there. Keeping with perspective, technically if we go ... the other leg should be like somewhat over here, even though that's not entirely accurate. Keeps up with the style of it. Okay. So I got a funky idea. So it's like, I'm thinking of a scene, so when I think of most videos, I have to think of scenes of like how they're gonna play out in my head to make them real. Wait, before I lose the chance, what's the name of this song? Oh, actually, I'll do you even one better. I'll show you what the whole album is. So this is from Joshua Morse. I don't know if you ever heard of Game Chops, but they used to do a bunch of really cool video game remixes back in the day. Well, I mean, I say back in the day. They still do it, but it's a lot more rare these days that they get together and make music. And recently, he released a lot of his music on Bandcamp. As part of Bandcamp Friday. So what I'll do to help you out real quick, I'll type it out in chat. I'll type it out for you guys. And then you can look them up either on YouTube or on Bandcamp. But again, I would highly suggest, if you want to support indie artists and stuff, go on Bandcamp and buy his album. I think I got it for like $5. It has almost like every single remix and cover he did, which is like a killer steal. As much as I like YouTube, the reality is that having your own MP3 files on your own computer device, solo streaming by a million miles. Alright, so let me do Joshua Morse, Game Chops. That's kind of the best way. So Joshua Morse, that's the guy that makes the music. Game Chops, that's the YouTube channel that posts the music. But again, check them out on YouTube or Bandcamp. This specific song that's playing, though. Sorry, and I don't know if you're talking about this one or the previous one. The one we're listening to right now. This is a remix of Frostman from Mega Man 8. I hope that helps you, Jay. But yeah, if you got any, you know what I need? I need a plugin for OBS that tells you what music I'm listening to on VLC. Oh my god, that would help out a lot. You know what? I have a workaround for that. I got an idea. I got a workaround for that. I got a workaround. I will share my VLC and I'll just put it on screen. That way you guys can just see it. If it will share it. Let's see. Let's go to window capture. We're gonna add a new one. And then I'm gonna do this right here. Ah, sick! Nice! Here we go. So this is my VLC I'm listening to music to, obviously. Let me see if I can adjust it in a way that lets you guys see more. Let's go to Tools, let's go to View. There's minimal interface. We don't want that. Tools. View. Tools. There's plugins and extensions. I haven't messed with that stuff before. Effects and filters. Oops. Oh. See, this is why I don't mess with stuff. Let me fix this. I broke it again. This chat needs a hero. Oh my god, Dorky. Good to see you, fam. Video, audio, visualizations. Let's disable that. There we go. Whew, that scared me for a sec. I can set this to as always on top. Yeah, I'm doing that. Oh, cool. I like that. All right. Now, how can I fix this so you can see what I'm listening to? What I will do is I will take this, and then I will Alt-Shift this. There you go. And now you can see what we're listening to. Bam! Little VLC player. I hope this helps. Although, I don't want to cover up. Let me see. Can I, where can I shove this that won't cover up chat? Actually, better yet, I got an idea. Let me do this. I'll set it here, and then I'll, drag this layer to the background. Video capture 5. Let me drag this behind the overlay. No, that might be a bit too much. Oh, boy. I could probably get rid of the scrolling text at the bottom, honestly. If I did something like this. There we go. That should help. At least I think so. Window capture 5. Bam! And let me look at it from my POV to see how it looks like for you guys. Yeah, you can see that. Okay, cool. There. Now it shows the music I'm listening to and everything there. I hope that helps. And thank you for asking. Helps me improve the streams. The scrolling Kofi text covers the song. Oh yeah, I already knew that. That's why I moved it over. The scrolling text actually is just a few reminders. Like, yes, obviously there's the whole donation Ko-fi thing. That doesn't matter. But it also tells people that you can use commands in the chat. It says, yeah, to change your PFP, you know, avatar, type in that. I might change that to make it a banner at the top, but that's not important right now. All right, let's go back to this. And I'm thinking for like the window, right? You gotta do something like that. You gotta give it a bit of an extravagant feel to it. So it's like I got my computer, I got the window next to that. What can I put over here? I was gonna put like my bed over here or something, you know? Maybe I could put my bed over here. Even though technically my computer is not in the same bedroom as me, it don't matter. So it's like, let me think in perspective. So let's make a box, right? Do that, connect the box from here to there to there. And then we gotta go out here, and then the bed goes from here to there. There we go. We got ourselves a little cuboid, and it's kind of weirdly offset, like, you know, the official artwork kind of is. That can work. And the best part, since the light is coming from here, we could also do some cool stuff with like shadows and whatnot. Like, let's say we have the lighting from the bed come out like over here. We could do something like that. Bed there. Let's throw up a pillow over here or something. Again, just random scribbles so I can think of what to do later. And let's use the tool over here. I'm gonna use this so that we can just fill in like, oh, this is where I want to shade stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, we got this side of the bed. Bam, bam. Stuff like that. So underneath the desk, this stuff over here. This helps realize the idea a bit more. Can't wait to do the line art for this when I fully realize my idea. What else could I do in the room here? Spy Fox type-ish room. Let's see, what else? Don't need a door there, because technically the view we're looking in, this fourth wall, the door is already where we're looking in through, so I don't need that. I could try to draw a type of wacky gaming chair, maybe. I could try to draw a little dingy light up here, too. Hold on. Let me go back to this. That's a 10. That's a little too thick. Let's go down to 5. That can work for us. And then we have, like, our light sticking off the center. Erase a bit here just so I can see what I'm doing. It's like, alright, here's the light bulb. There's that. Wow, look at that light. Well, actually, technically no light's being shown because we're going to be working on sunlight, but you get that. Got a little ceiling light. Spy Fox style, kind of. Let's think. Let's have some, like, little posters and boards here. Think of just like a really scuffed drawing of Fop. And when I say scuffed, I mean scuffed. There he is. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Does VLC have the window title match the song being played? Yes, yeah. Whatever you see on the VLC player at the bottom is what's actually being played on stream. That's why the little bars there. Again, I can leave you a link, but I could leave you a link to the Bandcamp version, which is probably preferred. You could probably have a text thingy that just shows the window title on OBS. I know there's something I could do for that, but I'm gonna be real, like, in the heat of the moment, I haven't really thought. I don't know of any plugins I could use. After the stream, I'll look for something to do that, but yeah. Plus, it's much safer to play music that I already have downloaded versus trying to stream on YouTube, because one, that uses up a lot more of my internet connection, and two, it reduces lag and slowdown, and, you know, OBS won't throw a fit that I have a billion things running in the background. Why not? I'll have like a little board here for a to-do thing. Also, another thing I noticed that Spy Fox is like a lot of hard shadows. So it's like, let's see, this says to do, right? And there's like a bunch of little things written here. Depending on the perspective, and this is where I'm going to use my mouse because this is a lot easier. Go here, go to this. Now I could make this the same color, like this. There would be a shadow behind the photos like this. Anything on the wall should have a shadow. Phew. I should probably draw like some sort of gaming chair or something. I'm not really the best at drawing a chair. How would I draw like a wacky gaming chair? Maybe I should just like go all in and draw like, what? Freaking car seat? That's all those quote-unquote professional gaming chairs are, just repurposed car seats and stuff. I swear to God, much better than this, guys. This is just all sketches. It's so hard to draw chairs very accurately. True, but that's the best part about trying to draw in a more Spy Foxy style, is that you can get away with it looking a little scuffed. As long as you, you know, you just make it look good. What kind of chair should we draw? What kind of chair should we draw? I need a chair. I need a chair, guys. I mean, I'm looking at the chair I'm in. It's just a basic office chair. Let me see. What if I drew one like... goodness, I can't really think. Chicago, the oh my God, Chicago, you suck. Alright, let's think of a chair. Let's go to something basic like this. We'll just think, here's the back, right? And then like in the middle comes that, and there's the spokes for the wheels. Something like that, right? And we can do something like that. That could work. And then we have like the little armrests up here and here. I know this looks very complicated and very messy, but trust me, it's only gonna get worse from here. You know, for the sake of this, I will actually draw in, let's see, what, I'm gonna just use a slightly different color for the chair. Like, let me use this ugly, dark, greenish looking color. That way I can at least show what I'm trying to do here. So there's the armrest, there's the chair, and then better see it. All right, there's a chair or whatever. And then, oh yeah, we gotta worry about like the shadows or something, right? So we gotta get this again, go here. And then we'll just like extend the shadows like this to where they meet up. Because that's how shadows work. And then we'll do something like that. There we go. Room's kind of coming together a bit. That's not too bad. So how are we looking for a wacky room here? You know what? One thing I didn't think about the screen is like usually when they show a screen or something, it's kind of like a really... And please don't take this the wrong way. I know you guys like to joke and rag on me all the time. It's got like a little bit of a bulge for the screen here. So like if I do something like this, right? The bubble of the TV would go here. Even though this ain't a TV, this is a PC, but you get the point. And then we would like round that off right there. I'll take this, erase it here. See how this is coming together now? Like that. Even though it's not really supposed to be a TV, it's supposed to be a computer, but you get the point, you get the point. This is not 10 up. You know what? You happy? There's your 10 up. There's your 10 up. Oh my god, this isn't supposed to be 10 up. But you know what, if it makes you happy, there. You literally have like 10 seconds to get your screenshots, and then I'm coming to your house and forcing you to eat lima beans. Tenna lives! Oh my god. It's not supposed to be Tenna! Oh my god. You happy? There, I hope you got what you wanted. Alright. You people. You people are so funny. Deltarune fans when they see a CRT TV, I know, right? My Sony Trinitron over there being like, yo, it's Spamton. Yo, it's Kenna, guys. Me abducting the local business salesman going door to door because they remind me of Spamton. That'd be funny. I think I'm kind of getting the hang of this. This ain't too bad. Alright, now I need to like make the room look a little more full and messy, because that's one thing Spyfox does a good job. You know, I noticed another thing Spyfox does is there's basic shading. But for some sections, they straight up just use like just a hard black to fill in the line. So it's like for this stuff over here, right? Let's take this again, and then we're gonna bump this up to like 15, and then we're gonna make some lines, right? Like this. All right, got a line there, got a line there. And then the line starts off really wide and then tapers off like this. So we're gonna go here and then widen out like up to there to like a comically crazy degree. This gives you that that Spyfox look. But then also we'll go here and then we'll like kind of taper it off. You can kind of see the vision of what we're going for. And then, but then when it meets back in the middle, you know, it starts off thick again, blada blada, and then it meets back down here, and then it thins out again. Same thing here, starts out thick, thins out. goes from here. It starts off thin, and then again it thickens out all the way out here. And this one's kind of intermediate here. Also, obviously, the ceiling's going to be a lot darker. Let me take this one, actually, because this one's a bit wider. And I'm going to do something like this for the ceiling, because light doesn't really hit a ceiling like that. I mean, it can, and it does, but you get the point. There we go. We'll make some harsher shadows over here, actually, by doubling up on this. There we go. Harsher shadows here and there. Maybe a smidgen right there. And then, obviously, the farther away you are, the darker it's gonna be, so we'll do like a little bit of this, throw this on, throw this color, and then we'll go from like here to here, and then all I'll do is get my pen and just like go like this. There we go. We're getting somewhere. I'm kind of feeling the vibe now. I'm starting to get the vibe. What I need to do is like draw hyper-specific little things though. So it's like what I want to do. Oh, the animation she did for the flower pot. Oops, that is the wrong drawing. Oh well, there's Turbine. Say hi to Turbine, guys. This is Jatella's friend, little dwarf rabbit. But let me get back to our list. Go back to that. Go back to that. Put that there. All right. So she did an animation of like a flower and a flower being picked away by like a mouse or something. So like what I would do is that I would enable that where the animation would play here. So the flower she made would go here. Well, I would draw the flower pot and the flower would go here, and then the little mouse guy would jump off and do whatever. So another thing. So again, you know, the whole capturing the vibe of Spy Fox with the environment and stuff. Stuff has got to happen. So on top of all these assets and stuff, behind it, little things would happen. So like maybe a little guy would pop out from behind the photo if you like clicked on it or something, right? Or you know something like, or maybe like you click on the bed, right? And then like a hand reaches out, you know, that sort of thing. Ooh, scary monster hand, you know. Or you click on the pillow and I don't know, like a little bed bug guy scuttles out. Click on the window and like the sun comes out, you know. Click on the chair and the chair spins around. You gotta think like a point and click game, you know? Everything has to be interactable. So you click on the light, right? Light can turn on and off. You click on the flower, the animation she did will pop up. You click on Fop, maybe he jumps off the picture. You click on something here. How am I going to replicate that in a YouTube video? Well, I like to think that since you can't directly click on it, I think it would be more of a cool blink and you miss it type of feel. Where, as the video's playing, and like, let's say I'm standing over here talking or something, little things happen in the background. Like, basically, those little animations that you would normally click on, they just happen automatically, and you gotta pay attention throughout the video to see what happens. I think that's gonna be the real fun of it. And honestly, looking at the drawing we have here, this isn't too bad for a really rough sketch of a stylized room, kind of going for that Spy Fox vibe. Or not just Spy Fox in general, but like the whole humongous entertainment thing. Another thing too is like the off colors. So let's say I did some colors here, right? Now I really don't feel like doing coloring, but let's add a layer. Just gonna call it rough colors, just to be safe. Let's not get carried away. So I'm gonna make a layer under this. We're gonna call it R colors for rough colors. Bam. Okay, so again, like I said, what does SpyFox do that I really like? It has that off color set. So not the colors don't always fill in the lines. They do in some cases like this, but not all the time. Like, let me drag on another image that might help prove my case. Where is that image actually? Let me go to downloads. And I'm going to drag in the office that I'm using as a reference. So this room right here, right? See how not all the colors line up automatically? There's a lot of off color stuff. This might be a bad idea actually. Like over here, see that? This is done on purpose though. The people that did the artwork for these rooms could have very well perfectly colored in the lines. They fill tools and other stuff did exist back in the day. But that's part of its, you know. Also, there is some minor shading to help signify certain shapes. Because to say that there's no shading in the environments is a little wrong. Because now, like, look at this. Like, see how this window, the light comes out? There's a lot of thought put into this. It hits the couch, right? Bam. Now, if we're gonna be really technical, technically the light should be hitting the sofa cushions here, and you know there shouldn't be a shadow, but that's beyond the point. That's being nitpicky. We're talking about style here. I like how this desk and this chair is technically further back in the room out of the sun's rays, so look, see how it gets a very little bit of light, those hard shadows and stuff? I like this. We can try to replicate something like this. So let's say I were to add some color, right? So what color should the walls be in my room? Usually a lot of places the walls are like white, but let's go for this like off brownish green they have going on here. I kind of like this. You know, I'm actually going to color pick from SpyFox and just see what we can get. So I'm gonna color pick this wall, right? And I'm gonna just take it for me, see what we can do with it. So I color picked it, we got it right here for colors. Gonna enable this, and I'm gonna make this pen really big, and we're gonna like go here, and we're just gonna like just go wild with it. Go full ham, baby. Bam, and then we can use the fill tool and do that. There's one wall. Technically, I feel like this wall would actually be, this wall should be the darker one now I think about it. Because this one's a tad further away. So look, we're gonna do this wall over here, bam, bam. Over here, bam. Fill that in. It all feels like clip art? Definitely, I love clip art so much. I hate to sound old and be like, kids these days will never understand, but like, when I was in elementary and technically middle school to a degree, when you needed images of stuff for like a report, a project or something, you would use clip art. And clip art was amazing because, sure, it was kind of basic and you get all these like weird little stick figure guys and whatever, but it's like it was free images you could use made by thousands of artists. And it's kind of funny how we quickly replaced that. Well, I feel like once we got to like the mid-2000s, that really got replaced. When like documents were able to support like whole PNGs that weren't like these tiny images that were reduced to kilobytes. But then now they're trying to replace it with like AI art and stuff. It's like, no, let's go back to an era when we had clip art. Genuinely, I would like to know some of the artists that were behind making the iconic clip art. Because I know some people made stuff that just goes uncredited, but also some people made stuff that like went on to define how we all, you know, look at art. I'm gonna color pick the ceiling because I kind of like the ceiling they got here. We're gonna steal that. We're gonna steal the ceiling colors, right? And then we're gonna like just like do this, bam, go around, and then bam, we got the ceiling. You know what? I think color picking from SpyFox might also help me with my coloring too. I mean, it's just basic flat colors for a lot of stuff, but like, again, there's some basic shading. There's a lot of thought put in, and I like this. I'm gonna color pick this wall over here. Why not? I really don't need to have all those open. Why do I have all these open? Gee, let's see. Let's do that. Let's color that wall, that one. Yeah, there we go. The different, like, why is every wall different colors? That for aesthetic purposes? That, like, help signify that this is a 3D space? Because, you know what? Technically, making a 3D room on a 2D plane, like, making technically a 3-dimensional game within a 2D space can be kind of hard if you can't tell perspective very well. And I think the wacky art design helps show perspective. Because, like, yes, you're technically not moving in a 3-dimensional environment, but you are in your mind because you can see a 3-dimensional environment. And isn't perspective all about, well, your own perspective? There's a lot of games that are quote-unquote 3D, even though they're only 2D. Alright, you know, the old saying goes, you know, reality is once you see it. I wanted to color pick this wall. I like this wall here. So we're gonna change that wall. Let me drag my project over here so I can easily access it. Alright, we're gonna color pick this wall. Go back here. Bam. Alright, we color picked that one. It's good now. And then we're gonna go back, color pick this one, go here. Oh, it's already the color of that one. Maybe I didn't color pick this one. Here. Yeah, we didn't use this color for the wall yet. Here I said, I'm not coloring anything. What am I doing right now? I'm freaking coloring. I mean, then again, it is the rough colors, so I ain't gonna get too heated about it. I'm glad you guys remember clip art, though. It makes me happy. I remember people used to think clip art was, like, extremely tacky, and I guess it kind of was for a time, because let's be real, you know, if you needed images, you were most likely using clip art because, you know, it was cheap, easy to use, and didn't take up a lot of resources. I like what they did here for the lighting. Now, I can't really replicate that there too much, but I can do something similar. What I can do is that since the sun's shining over here, right, I can, again, color pick this. I will take this color and I will lighten it by a few degrees. And then what should happen is that I can go here to help signify that the sun is shining here. Look at that. Let's make it a bit wider. Look at that, see? So now we have the sun shining, it's hitting the wall paint, and it's giving it that illusion of the light going off. We could do the same thing for this side, actually. Color pick this. We'll go up by a few degrees. Oh, you can't see my picker. It's off screen, but it's right here. I'm going up by a few degrees. Bam. Nothing too crazy. And then we'll just, like, bam, widen it out like that. We'll do this. We'll go around the shadows. See, this is where you take inspiration and then finally kind of do your own thing. This is the fun of art. No matter how scuffed it is. The more people that draw, the better off the world will be, honestly. Alright, look at that. So look, we signified a wall, we have light sources. This is going pretty nice. Now for the floor. What color should we make the floor? Should we steal the green off the floor? I think, why not? Why can't I have a green shaggy carpet in my place too? So this is signifying the light. The darkest parts are here, and then we have a bit of overlap. So let's work in reverse. Let's start with the lightest part, and then we'll add the darks as time goes by. So I'm going to my color picker. We're going to take some of that. And then we're going to do the same thing we did earlier, which is I'm going to start by, let's see, I'm just going to like, well, technically I could color the floor like this. I don't know why I'm thinking. Go right around there. Gonna draw all around. Floor, bam, bam, bam. Hit that. All right, so we're gonna hit bam, fill that color, right? All right, cool, the floor is green now. Spice it up a bit by, again, going for slightly darker colors. We're gonna pick the next shade. And this shade is mostly for these hard shadows. Whatever casts a shadow, there's like a, I don't know what the right word for it is, but there's like a sub-shadow. And then the actual darks come into play. So we can do the same thing here, actually. So anywhere the sun shines directly, we're not gonna add it. This is the sub-shadow, technically, right? So we're gonna go out to here, and bam. It's beam. All right. Hockey 4-4. And who's that? Oh, Miles! Hi, Miles. How you doing, bestie? If you don't know Miles, he is one fantastic artist. I would definitely call her probably one of my modern inspirations. I mean, honestly, all my friends inspire me to do art and stuff for years to come, but definitely when it comes to doing 3D stuff. Moxie, #1. Miles, aka Moxie. It says Miles Games, but her name's Moxie. Move that there. But yeah, if you haven't checked out Moxie's work, please do so. She does some really nice stuff. Not to mention, like, world's best Bubble Bobble fan. I think that's the best way to put it. Yeah, #1 Bubble Bobble fan. We can go for a bit of an orange for the border. This window has like a blue one. We don't need a copy though. We can go for something funky. Let's go for a blue. Let's go for a dark blue, actually. That's me. Yes, indeed. That's you. Our favorite little adorable Scrunko. Love how I keep saying, I'm not gonna color this, I'm not gonna draw this. What am I doing? I'm still doing it. Then again, my ideas are starting to become fully realized now, so I'm happy about that. Alright, so we got that. Now we can go for the hard colors and that green, which is that like really dark green. I'm gonna color pick that, go back out here, and then we're gonna like save it for like stuff like this. And then we can do another like color fill, right? What happens if we remove the sketch? Oh my god. Removing the sketch layer is so cursed. Guys, I did it. I created modern art. Boom, 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 boom. That's not too bad. And drop that from the light, because why not? Go for like a nice salmon colored desk, why not? Bright colors for everyone. You get bright colors. You get bright colors. And then the computer monitor, because like, and obviously we'll just make that like a really dark purple, because I don't want to use any more of the dark blue. We're kind of oversaturating that. And then the screen, you know, we'll make that white. Oh, this is certainly coming together. The bed, yeah, why not? Let's give the bed like blue sheets or something. And then we'll take like a darker blue on this side. Because again, the shading and all that. All right, so you may be thinking, all right, how is this scene gonna work, Tay? This scene's gonna be a little weird. So my thought process of the video, you know, I want to have like an animated beginning, bit of an intro. And normally this is only the stuff I share on Ko-fi, but I might as well share my idea for the few people here. Video starts off with me like sleeping in bed or something, and I'll have it like, I'm thinking of like a Spy Fox type situation where I'm sleeping in bed here, and then I have someone call me. Not like Spy Fox style, but like they call me from like either my PC or something. And then I had this funny bit where it's like, I think in like the intro to Spy Fox, there's Penny, she's like, she says something along the lines of like, oh, like, you'll find like your secret message or code or something, like this fortune cookie or this, and like, you know, his dinner plate is like, is like a secret spy message thing. So I was thinking I could do something that, like, whoever's talking to me through the computer or TV is like, oh, like, the next video idea, you'll find it on your Pac-Man plug-and play or something, you know, something silly like that. Alright, this is pretty scuffed, it's really messy, but this gives me a good rough idea of what I want to do. So I kind of like this. And then, of course, I have to have me on top. Now, I decided to do, instead of like drawing me, I want to try to do like a Spy Fox style. This is a little too detailed. I want to use Fop for the video because he's fairly easy to animate. But then I made like a more angular version of Fop I could probably use. And since Spy Fox technically always has his hands in his pockets, which probably makes him super easy to animate now that I think about it, I'll probably do the same thing for Fop, or just probably not show his hands. That's the guy who wears all the different shirts. The family's all here. Well, Fop isn't part of Spy Fox, but you know, I probably could. Me when I put in my self-insert OC. Yeah, guys, look, this is Spy Fox's little brother. Spy Kid Fox. Although I'll be honest, I think I cooked with Russian blue. I'm happy with this one. I kind of like this. I like the cat. Yeah, me too. You know when you like draw something, you're like, man, and you look back and you're like, wow, I actually drew that, huh? Did a pretty good job. I put my Spy Fox OC in the game. Can you guys find it? Yeah, exactly. Hey guys, try finding my OC. You know, the one that's like scraggly drawn in and not polished. Alright, now going back to... we gotta make the room look a little more messier. So it's like, we got the room details done, right? But like, one thing that Spy Fox excels in is, again, little details and stuff. So what can we do to like, really make this come to life? What can we do? We could have some paint peeling, right? So like, think of this. Let me bring this back down to like a 5 pixel brush. We could have like right over here, right? We could have, I'm gonna draw, let me get my pen out. Just little weird stuff here and there. We could have this going down and then rolled up. Oh, that's the colors. Oops, that's not the sketch layer. I gotta redo that. Glad I caught it. Alright, let me go to the sketch layer. Alright, and where was I? Oh yeah, drawing this like down here. And then this here, right? And then we could have like a panel of like the paint coming down. So then what we'll do for this part is like, I'll go here and then I'll erase like, let me go to colors and then maybe I'll put like white here instead. Yeah, that's fitting for like nothing behind the wall. Or it could be like bricks or something, now that I think about it actually. It doesn't even have to be a white wall behind it. Yeah, actually, what if we did like red, like it's like a brick wall or something? I don't know. Again, just trying to use my imagination here. We'll go for that, right? And then we'll go to this, lower the pixel down to 5, and then we'll have like there you go. Look, brick wall behind or something. You know, you get the point. And then let's say you, let me go back to the sketch layer. Let's say, like, you click on this, right? And then this part of the wall will, like, roll up and down or something. So, again, all the little interactive things you can do here. I'm trying not to do too much per scene, but I want to have enough to make it visually look engaging. There's no such thing as a Spy Fox. Oh, see, that's just a persona. Oh my goodness. Alright, so another thing that this game does, again, I talked about this earlier, so like, let's talk about this area. So you have this, right, when I'm doing like my room. And then you get a close-up depending on where you go. So like when Spy Fox goes over to the trinket area over here, where Gilbert is, you get a close-up. You get slightly more detail, you know, because this is where the scene takes place. So that's what I want to do, again, for this video, too. So I'm going to have a close-up of, and I mean, again, it doesn't matter. I'm going to have a close-up of this section with the desk only. And this is where, like, I would say, like, the gameplay footage is going to come from. So then I have to do, like, a more detailed drawing of just specifically this section, but it'll be a bit easier. So let me save this, by the way. Let's do save as. We're gonna call this, let's call this, office room full. Yeah, call it office room full. I'm gonna save that. Yeah, office room full. And then what we're gonna do is that we're gonna take that folder. We're gonna make a folder for it, because I tend to just draw art and just throw it anywhere on my PC, and that's a very bad idea if you want to find stuff. So let me go to Sprite Art and let me make a folder. New folder, we're gonna call it Spy Fox. SpyFox drawings. There we go. And then what we'll do is that we'll take what we just drew and we will drop it in that folder. Veggie, hey Veggie, good to see you, buddy. I'm just doing some late night drawing. Trying to do some environments for the SpyFox video and stuff. Part of doing video stuff is doing research and studying art styles, and that's basically what I'm doing. I'm studying the SpyFox art style to try to replicate it. Right now I'm just doing a rough sketch to kind of get the vibe of what I'm gonna go for. And then hopefully I can take that and do more with it. Here we go. Let's go to SpyFox drawing, bam, paste. All right, so what we need to do is make another section like this, but again, it needs to be of only this section here. So what we're going to do is we're going to file, we're going to make a new environment. I think it was 1440p by 1080. So 1440. We're going to hit OK. Let me double check with this room just to make sure. Yeah, 1440p. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take this section and kind of like blow it up a bit more. So we don't have to start from scratch, but again, I'm just going to do this. Let me get let me get the paint bucket. I'm going to drop this here. Bam, new, and we're going to make a sketch layer. Why did it do that? I'm trying to rename the layer here. Sketch, bam. And then we can flip-flop back and forth between this side and that side. So actually, I can do this, which is pretty cool. I'm going to drag this over to the side and then open this up over here. So now we can kind of see our split view. So we need to capture this section over here. And how can we do that? Well, let's do this. Bam. And for the sketch, we're gonna, let's see. I think we're at like 5 pixels still. That's fine, actually. So what we'll do is that like the computer's midway, so we'll go. We're not gonna see the floor because the desk is gonna be up here. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna draw this corner where the computer's on the side. Actually, let's move it a little bit more this way. Because if you can imagine, this is the corner here of over here. Let's angle it upwards, then downwards a bit for the table. I'm overthinking it. Let's just be simple with this. That's the desk, right? And then we have another one here. Then what we can do is we can go up this way, up that way, up this. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. You're not going to see this corner because technically this is where the PC's going to go. Let me look up like an old CRT PC for like reference. Goodness. Ugh. Get a good stretch in. Phew. All right, images. Here we go. We got an old computer. I'm a big fan of those computers that have like, where is it? I'm looking at these old CRT ones. This is beautiful. I miss these. All right, I think I got a pretty decent reference images I want to use. CRT TV research? You mean Tenno research? Oh, I mean CRT computer monitor research. Haha. Nice try, nice try. And then this side would have like basically a slightly more detailed image. The thing is, I had to make sure this is positioned in a way where I can animate over this scene while having a still background. Because obviously I don't want to screw everything up and then, you know, make it harder for myself. Put the mouse there, why not? And then what? We'll hit the eraser with this real quick. So Queen research? Oh my goodness, Queen's a laptop. Get out of my head, get out of my head, get out of my head. Alright, we got ourselves a box here. Hmm. Ooh, that's another thing I could do. I could have in, like, the background here, right? While I'm talking and the PC's just kind of idle. I could just have, like, those old school Windows wallpapers, screensavers. Just have them, like, playing in this screen here. That's a good idea. You know what? Actually, I'll add that here for my notes. It's hard to write on this. I'll be real. All right. Yeah. Add screen. Ugh. I remember there was one that was like a bunch of pipes that would move around. I'm trying to think of what other like screensavers they had, but yeah. Probably keep the flower pot here because why not? You know, I could also add to this photo like a little poster. What could I add? What's a poster? Something I could add here. That way, when it comes time to like draw over here, I got a poster or something. I'll make it a poster or something. I think we're getting pretty good on this side, actually. Phew. Alright, we can drag this back up here. We can go back to our room here. Alright, this is coming together pretty okay. So, there we go. We got some wacky. This is normally not how I would draw something, but you know, we're starting to get the point. So see, this is the scene here, and then this scene when I get close to my computer, it would snap to something like this per se, and then I'll be over here yammering whatever. Actually, now that I think about it, I need to see how would I look if I was like superimposed on here. Getting late, see ya? All right, see you later, hi. Thanks for hanging out for a bit. I forgot it is Sunday night. It's Monday for all you guys. I'm off work tomorrow, that's why I'm up. But yeah, if y'all got work or school or something, please get to sleep. Don't, honestly, this stream is not that important. I'm just here to vibe. All right. I'm waiting for my bed sheets to dry, then I will sleep. What'd you do, Chicago? Piss the bed? Where's the other one at? Ooh, I love this remix. Hold on, this one goes so hard. Normally don't get a whole lot of Mario Bros. Underground remixes. All right. Oh, we grouping now, baby. Alright, now I need to add a section for me. Where would I talk in this situation? Let's add a new layer. We'll just call this FOP, because why not? Now, we have to be the cleanest looking thing in this image, obviously, but this is still for sketch reasons. So what we can do is that we can take the sketch background, lower that by a bit, and then we can see where FOP's gonna go in the segments where I gotta talk about the gameplay or something. Hey bud, just dropping by to say, just like to say, hey, oh, good to see you, fam. Hope you're having a good evening. You get some good rest tonight. Gaming. Oh, hey, Funky. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks, oh, you too. You have a good week. Whatever. I'm gonna just go back to making a scuff drawing. I have no idea how this part's gonna work though. Actually, I got a better idea. What if I did like more of a half body approach to it like this? But in this, are you just gonna create your own entire point and click game? Bruh, I wish I could. That'd be funny. This has got to be easy to animate too, so I'm thinking I might just stick with basic stick FOP. Like, as much as I want to... Where is it? As much as I want to do, like, this design for an entire video, the reality is that this is probably going to be the easier one to do. Minus the shading and all this, obviously. This is just for looks, but... I'm trying to see if I can get, like, a balance between it. Honestly, this is also a scuffed FOP drawing. I'm just trying to see, how will it look up there? So, let's see, the arm goes here, and then the arm goes... be like pointing at the screen or something. Let me see. What if I got, take this, bam. I'll do something like that. You're in for Spy Pop. Yeah, I'm basically doing all the setup for what I think, because, you know, animation's gonna take a bit. Not like it's gonna be crazy animated or anything, but, you know, I gotta do the backgrounds. And then once I have all the environments set for the backgrounds, where all the cool little things are happening, then I have to think of where the review's gonna take place. And for the sake of this video, you know, foreground background stuff, once the background's made and the video will go here, and that's not for the entire video, this is for one scene, then like I can be imposed on top of it to point and do stuff and whatnot. The funk is back. Studio jumping at his feet. I don't know. Could I make the arm like this? I don't know if I want to do something like that. I did make the arms black in the drawing over here. I could do a mixture of that, honestly. What if I just did this? I don't know how well that'll animate, but we'll see. We could try to make a more expressive pop, honestly. You know, I gotta get some of those expressions from like Rayman Origins. Those got some really great expressions. Let's see, what can I move over here? Let's add a new layer. Actually, wait. Stupid me, I can use my pen. Wait, say, what if the screensaver you use is just the maze one, but the walls is just some stupid image? That would be pretty good. I would say send me some suggestions in Discord if you got any good ones. I'm trying to think of different ways I could like really use FOP to like help do really expressive art without like, you know, because I don't want it to look boring. I don't want to look like a Family Guy cutaway gag. But at the same time, you know, how can I like do this? So it's like I could do a thing of his arms flailing here pointing to something. That's why I'm doing all these here. This is helping me visualize how it will interact with the background. Let's add a new layer. I don't know if YouTube chat will buy it, but the website is called The Rasterbator. Is that really what it's called? You send me that in Discord. That sounds insane. Part of me wants to do a little bit of a... Okay, y'all gonna hate me for this. Y'all like Mad Magazine, and I'm talking about the Cartoon Network show? I got a bit of a funny idea. What if I mixed a little bit of that into the Spy Fox video? So, like, I'm also gonna be briefly talking about, like, the actors and people that played in this video. But what I want to do is, like, do a Mad Magazine-ify of them, which is basically, like, taking their head and drawing cartoon eyes and mouths on them. When they show up on screen, I feel like that would be pretty good. Y'all gonna hate me. Oh, cool, for the poster thing. Well, that's cool. Wow, it really is called the Rasterbator. Honestly, that's pretty cool. I can see if you have like really good paper, you can make a really nice poster. A multi-page PDF file. That's pretty cool, actually. I'll have to look into that sometime. Thank you, Chicago. Oh, here's an idea. Let me start adding some frames. All right, we're gonna do like one small animation. And then, I think we'll call it for a night. Let's see. All right, let's do this. Let's add. Let's make it a 4-frame animation, right? We got FOP here. And we're going to delete the previous frames. New layer, we're gonna call this arms, right? And then this is gonna be, we're gonna rename this again. We're gonna call FOP with a bunch of F's so we don't rename the same layer. All right, so we got the FOP layer, right? So that's gonna be basically this. Let's do this. I'm gonna erase this bit here. And then we're going to take this. We're going to capture this. Edit. Cut. I'm gonna go to arms. Edit. Paste. Same thing for this one. Oops, that one's a little too close. Select, deselect. We're gonna go back to the FOP layer. Oh my goodness, stop doing that. There we go. Edit, cut. Go back to arms. Edit, paste. And then FOP will be, oh, select, deselect. We turn on onion skin. There we go. Now we can see what we did. See? We got both the layers. We got the layer for the arm and layer for FOP. So this is gonna be fun. So we're gonna go to this layer here, and then we're gonna redraw it so they give it that that boiling line effect. This is something I really love doing. This part's fun. And we'll alternate every other frame. We'll like do one hand draw and then one with like the line tool to help like really sell it. So this one was like more hand drawn, right? So we're gonna do like the line tool for this one. So bam, 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 like that. And then we'll still draw the eyes though, because why not? Okay, there we go. And then for like the third frame, right? Now we're gonna hand draw it. Try to draw as close as we can. There we go. And then for the fourth frame, same thing. Nice and clean like this. Go there. There and there. There we go. Look at that. Now if we flip between all the frames, we got FOP going there. Now we got to get the arms going. This is going to be the hard part. So I'm thinking about having one going up and one going down. So what we need to do is that we need to have one starting up and then one starting down. Which I think we can fix. So let's get rid of both the arms. Oops. Select, deselect. Let's do this. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Now we go to the arms layer. And then we're going to pull out this. I'm thinking about smear frames. So up, smear frame down. So 2 frames up, smear frame down. So there we go. So there's yes, this is an animation stream now. Alright, so we got one arm up in the air. And then we're gonna do the same thing for this one. But now one down. Actually, hold on. I got a better idea for this one. Maybe if the arms are just a little bit more off screen, we could sell it. Hello? Why did my pen stop working? That scared me for a second. Chat 3 plus 3. What are you guys talking about? Chat B. So we'll do a second frame. Same thing, drawn on top. There we go, get that over. Alright, next is the smear frame. So one for the arm going up, one for the arm going down. Also, I really shouldn't be coloring something like this, but for the sake of making sure that you can see the arm when it moves, just for the, because it's technically transparent. Let me fix this. And then for that, we can do this for the arms here. Oops. Alright, now we gotta do the same thing for the other arm, but for going upwards. Boom, boom, boom. Honestly, if I want to get animation done in a timely manner, I might just end up making all the sketches messy like this. Alright, so there we go. One arm's going up, the other arm's going down. I don't know if we're gonna make that last for 1 or 2 frames. We'll see how that times out, but then we have to double the frames again in reverse as the arms are down now. So actually I should technically add 2 more. So we're going to, like, basically these 2 frames would loop for a hot sec. It would loop between these 2. Go to that smear frame, and then the arms would switch places. So that one would be down there, that one would be down there, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do a quick doodle of that. This ain't gonna work. Let me think. Do an arm up there. Bam, go to this here. Fill that in. Alright, and then we're gonna add one more frame, actually. New frame. Alright, we're almost there. Getting happy about this, actually. We'll see how it looks when we actually get it looping, though. Okay, sweet. Alright, so we're starting. We go from up to down. And then we have to switch places, but we can just do the animation in reverse, technically. Okay, this might work. All right, we just gotta think this through now. Let's turn off the onion layers. Oh, we're getting somewhere, that's for sure. So we gotta add one more transition frame, I think. One more transition frame. Let me see. I hope this looks at least a tiny bit entertaining. I don't know how to animate. I just like drawing and doodling. Well, I mean, I used to do a bunch of little flip note animations and sticky notes when I was in school. Okay, so let's start from the top. So at the computer, right? So we have the frame, so let arm goes down. This is basically it. From arm going from one side to the other. Then we can duplicate these frames and play them in reverse. And it should loop. Why are y'all talking in Ultimate Chicken Horse text chat? Last animation I made was in middle school. Yeah, I feel that. I believe in you, though. I'm in my 3rd year of college. There's nothing wrong with that, though. It's not like you were doing, like, a career or a job that required you to animate. You know, it's more of a hobby thing. Just take it slow as you get the chance. I need to start animating more. Just do, you know, silly little doodles. I don't know much about animation. But I do know smear frames help a ton. Alright, so we're getting somewhere. What we just need this to loop properly instead of snapping back from here to here. And basically we can do that by replaying everything in reverse. Because we have one smear frame. So we can play everything, we can copy everything, play it on reverse. But this smear frame in particular, what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to new frame it. And then we're going to move this down here. Oh, that's not bad. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. We're going to, so since this is another smear frame, we're going to delete this. I like to change up the smear frames every once in a while, though. So for instance, for like this one, there's two types of smear frames. There's like a literal smear, and then you have like the doubles, if you know what I mean, or like the triples. So then I'll do something like this. Something like, let's try to get a little experimental, right? Oops. And then we'll just do an extremely rough shade of this so you can see where the arm is. Nothing too fancy. Again. Oops. We'll be fine. Honestly, I kind of like how the onion skin even like adds more frames to it. I wonder if I could mimic something like that. Because if I turn it off, here we go. This is what it looks like. Hey, we got it. We did it, guys. We got a little animation here. There's me making videos. I hope that looks okay to you guys. If it looks like trash, you can tell me. Let's see. You have the urge to experience Pac-Man CE on the Roku, the best version. Oh, no, not Roku Pac-Man CE. Oh, that's terrible. Let's take the background, the sketch background layer. And now that we can make it full, this would actually look like on here. I would also have to color in myself, which would be a little annoying, but I think we can deal with it. I could try to get away with doing it all in the same layer. Let's see. What can we get away with? This is not a good idea. Never do this. Kids, don't try this at home. Ah! The fill tolerance. I gotta fix that. Uh-oh. How much will it cost for a Galaga Pac-Man CE Roku video? Oh my god. You just like watching me suffer. I see how it is. You can admit you want me to suffer. I won't be mad at you. Why is it still doing that? Oh, I think I know where that's happening. Ugh. Man. Oh wait, I can use this tool. Hold on. This is good for doing the color, actually. I don't know why I didn't use this tool at first. Oh, this helps out a ton. So remember how my game demo video is like kind of hand-drawn? I guess the Spy Fox one's like that, but to another degree in a way. So we'll see how it pays off. I don't think I'm gonna get it done this month, unfortunately, but it's definitely gonna be a fun video when it is done. Not to mention, like, I'm actually making decent progress on it. And I got a test for it done. Look at that. We're getting somewhere. I'm liking this. You know what? This will be the last thing we finish tonight. It's just a basic little thing of Fop smashing at the keyboard. Why not? We'll do some basic ugly colors. Now, I could have made this part easier on myself by keeping this, by copying the color. Actually, I don't know why I didn't do that first, actually. Hold on. Idea. This will save me some time. See this color right here? We're going to take this bad boy, shabop, right? Edit, copy, and then here we go. Paste that. Bam. Control V. Bam, Control V, bam, Control V, bam, Control V. Now we can do the same thing for the eyes. Select, deselect. Call me lazy or call me smart. It don't matter. Same thing, select. Let's select those eyes. Edit, copy, bam, bam. There we go. We're making progress. Nice computer you got there. And the PC version of Fop is missing. Fop is horribly off model and tall. He also has voice lines and a weird voice actor. Oh my god. Okay, this is looking okay. I'm liking this. Me who wants to add shading. Tay, stop. Tay, stop. I'm telling myself to stop, but I'm not listening. I mean, if I copy paste it, it's not that bad, honestly. Science gone too far. That's what I say. But I'm doing a sneaky little trick on connecting everything together. That way when it comes to copying, I can do this. Bam. Ha ha ha. Edits. Copy. We're gonna control V that bad boy. Alright. Select, deselect. This won't take too long. If I'm smart about what I animate and think about how I can make the most impactful frames on a shoestring budget, we might be able to get somewhere. And the Mac version of Fop is missing. Fop literally is missing from the game. It doesn't exist. Jay, I thought you were going to rhyme call me lazy or call me smart. It don't matter. It's my art. Hey, that's a pretty good one. Go back in time and tell that to pass me to say that. That's a pretty good line. Okay. I literally thought of this animation like off the fly. I was thinking, oh, what can I do at a desk? But you know what? I like this a lot. This is true to the style. And if I go back to this, like, I'll have other stuff now. I'm not gonna have anything nearly as detailed like that here, but this is cool. You know what, guys? I think we did a pretty good job. We did it, chat. Dang. We gotta save this also. I just realized we did not save once. Alright, let's save as, we're gonna save this as, let's see. Office room, PC shot. Yeah, we're gonna call it PC shot. Yeah. And we're gonna save it in here. That way. Good, and it's saved. Awesome. You gotta have dirty loose sock on the floor in the background just for the funny. Oh my god. We'll throw in a dirty sock somewhere. The humble power outage. Bro, don't play like that. I've had power outages before and it's like, thankfully, like a lot of modern PC stuff like knows how to autosave pretty frequently, but yeah, still that is tragic. Now, how fast do we want this animation to be? This is the default speed. Um, Zoom level, current frame, hide timeline, show preview. There was a way to change the speed, right? I'm not going crazy. Behind sprite, in front of sprite, opacity, thumbnail, merge frame, merge header, loop through tag frames. There was a way to speed it up, and I can't remember. Wait, maybe this was it? No, this is something else. I did need those extra paint bucket options earlier, though. I was not thinking. That's fine. Let me look for something else. What we got in here? Do, 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 do. Just about done here. I'm about to end off the stream. I just need to find one more thing for a sprite. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually like really excited. Like, I feel bad. My friend's got to work, doing extra work this week, so she's not gonna be able to do as much as that. But the good thing is that we have a vision now. That's kind of all we need. We have an idea. We have a vision. We can carry off of that. And then this is like, even though I got a busy work week ahead of me when I have to go back to work on Tuesday, this will be enough fuel to keep me going. Let's see. But anyway, what are you guys doing up this late? For those of you that are still up, like, what are you doing up this late? Do you not have work or school or something tomorrow? Because the only reason why, I'm up is because I literally don't have work tomorrow, and I'm taking advantage of the fact that I'm always up at night instead of just playing Pokemon like a loser, getting some video work done. I just want to say, what's your excuse? Chicago? Oh, I definitely have class. Chicago, you always have class. You were one of the people that actually asked me to stream tonight. I'm not gonna lie, Chicago. I was actually really thinking of not streaming, but the fact that you asked me to, I was like, you know what? Fine. I'll do it. I'll do it. I gotta stop being lazy. But then again, I'm gonna be completely honest. I would have never thought people ever want me to stream, so I'm kind of like really humbled by that. It gets me. I still get really kind of embarrassed. If anything, like I always talk to myself, and not in a schizo way, but like I'm always thinking about things, planning ideas, and yada yada, blah blah blah. I love that meme where people who call their subconscious chat now. It's like it's completely real. Mullet says, I'd rather not say. Oh boy, Mullet, you're gonna be in trouble tomorrow. Jay, I do, but I'm ignoring my responsibilities. Oh my goodness, guys, please. You know what? I'm so glad I'm gonna be ending the stream in a few minutes because y'all need to go to bed on time. Bam. You know me. I'm gonna be playing that Mappy arrangement OST. Oh, it just didn't. It just didn't work. Okay, wow. Okay, let's try that again. Is he even gonna play in order? VLC, please. I love you, my friend, but please, like, actually work. Yo, it does work. Nice. Mappy Season 4? I know, right? I don't call my subconscious chatter anything normal. I just call myself and tell myself to join the bro. You can't be saying stuff like that. Speaking of mappy arrangement, you guys have no idea how excited I'm gonna be when I finally cover the Classic Collection games next year. I really wanted to use November to travel to an arcade that Lef had showed me, so I could get some footage of a real Namco Classic Collection arcade cabinet for some video footage. I was hoping to go in November. I don't think it's going to be possible this month. If I'm lucky, maybe late November, early December, I could try to take one day off work so I could travel down and just get some footage. That'd be fun. Unfortunately, I'm not as lucky as my friends who always have arcades and other junk around them to just freely do things. And I feel like at least once in my life, if I'm gonna play Pac-Man Arranger, I gotta play the original. At least once on real hardware. That'll make me so freaking happy. Hello, Left. Good to see you, buddy. That's me. Get the mappy rigs in the Classic Collection video, honestly. But no, like, you don't understand how big my plans are for, like, the Namco Classic Collection series of videos. Like, you thought my Namco Generations video I just put out was, like, you know, a love project of things I obsess over? You have not seen me yap about the Classic Collection games. I mean, like, are you a traveler when it comes to arcades? Not really. I've never really traveled that far for arcades. I've traveled to, like, I think the farthest I've ever traveled to go for an arcade is maybe an hour or two, you know, to like a Dave & Buster's. That's about it. But like, there are no local arcades near me. And the only places close by is like Dave & Buster's, and again, that's like over an hour away. So I'm kind of screwed in that case. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm just holding my finger on the key to speed it up. Bro is mashing. This is how I play my fighting games. Also, notice how I added 2 different smear frames so it doesn't like look like it's too repeated. I added 1 smear frame like this, and then another one that like adds the doubles. I took everything I learned about smear frames. I'm just kind of throwing it in. I don't know, I feel like it helps adds a little bit of a nice loop to it. I found a bootleg Pac-Man machine in an arcade like an hour away from me yesterday. Ew, bootleg though. Unironic offer though, the rigs are up for grabs if you need them. Oh, definitely. You know, I think that'll make a fun bit for a Mappy video. But the reason why I think you guys remember a long time ago, a few months ago, I talked, hey guys, I'm making a video about motos. And you're probably thinking, Tay, what happened to that video? It's still kind of happening. The thing was that I was a little too ambitious back in the day making that video in DaVinci Resolve. What kind of happened was that now I have a project file that's like a big spider web that's like insanely ambitious, and I'm having a hard time tying it together. So I may have to restart from the beginning, but now that I have all this like knowledge of how to do things better, I could do it a lot faster. And that Motos video was going to be a test of seeing, can I make a video in a 3D environment? But I'm going to be completely honest with you, and this is just between me and you guys, chat. I may actually learn a little bit of Blender, just not to like make models or anything, for the arcade. So you know the 3D arcade I built in DaVinci Resolve, right? There's still videos floating around. If you want to see it, I'll rip some videos from my PC and show you guys. But I made a whole mini arcade in DaVinci Resolve, and all the 3D models and stuff are put together from PNGs that I basically kit bashed from real photos. I'm thinking about doing the same thing, but in Blender where it's a little more stable, because as DaVinci Resolve is not made for it. However, I was still able to do it, and I think it's cool. And just because out of the stubbornness of my heart, I'm still going to finish Motos in DaVinci Resolve, because I'm not going to let anyone tell me that it's impossible to do stuff in there when I'm proving that it's possible. However, when it comes to the other videos, I think the Namco Classic Collection series, I definitely will try to find a way to shift over to Blender to host the environments. Not like, you know, that way I can have the cool fancy lighting, I can have a stable 3D environment that doesn't take up a lot of resources, but I can still do my editing in DaVinci Resolve. Nothing right now. Might take an animation though. I've been inspired. Okay. Animation's not that hard when you really think about it. You know, it's just images one after the other. That's where it seems deceptively simple. But then you have to think in your mind, how can you simplify an animation to work? So for instance, like this, you know, frame by frame animation's nice. You know, that's better than motion, that's better than rigging and tweening and all that other stuff. Not to say that rigs are bad. You know, there's some really good rigged animation, but I'm saying I'm doing hand frame by frame animation. But there's a few shortcuts I managed to do. So for instance, like, you know, I have technically, what is it? I have 6 unique frames for the arms though. So when they go down and go up. And then I have 2 smear frames, both at the halfway points. And the smear frames help do a better job of conveying that the arm is moving down fast, instead of me frame by frame drawing the arm going down little by little by little by little and then speeding it up. Plus it fits this kind of amateur video style I have, you know? Not to mention the colors. So like, since FOP is stagnant, right? Notice how the colors are stagnant, but I still did the warp, the boiling line effect to keep it looking alive. So it's not just a boring, stale FOP just staring at the screen. You know, there's a bit of depth to it. Man. What am I doing? And this is one animation of probably like a dozen I'm gonna have to do. The thing is, I don't know how I want to make FOP talk. I'm gonna be honest. Unless you guys have any suggestions. I always planned on, like, think of FOP as, and please don't make any Deltarune jokes, as a vessel of sorts. FOP was originally, like I told a lot of people this already, FOP was supposed to be like a miniaturized chibi version of me. You know, I already got my Fox, which is me. But then FOP was going to be like a shorter, smaller version. But then as time progressed, FOP kind of became his own character in relation to me. You know, think of like a more like unhinged mini-me of sorts. But the thing is that, like, FOP can still be me. It's just that, you know, he's his own character, he can still be me for, like, the sake of a video, if that makes sense. You know, think of FOP being a vessel of, like, alright, I'm possessing you now. We're carrying this out from my POV. And then when I'm done with FOP, I let him run free and, I don't know, go eat the little blue candies out the urinals. You get the point. Animal Crossing Tay voice. Many such cases. Restrain yourself, like Delta. No, I must show strength. FOP possession lore. You guys are insane. I swore there was a thing that let you speed it up. Maybe I'm just stupid. What does this mean for the demo kiosk lore? Well, if you notice in the kiosk demo video, I used FOP as a fill-in for me because, again, FOP is extremely easy to draw and animate in any given scenario. That's why I just kind of used him as a way. And I drew, like, other supporting characters to help fill in the gaps in the story. Animation is hard and fun. I love how I spent how many hours here this whole stream, and all we got done was like, I spent like almost 3.5 hours here, and all I really did was this animation. Technically, I didn't. Okay, you know, I gotta give myself a little bit of credit. I like to beat myself up a bit too much. I'm trying to stop doing that, to be honest. But if we actually look at what we did, we actually made a lot of progress tonight, now that I think about it. We got the entirety of this office room done. Alright? This gives us a basis when I go to do the line art to make an interactable office room. I'm kind of proud of that. I like it. We did a pretty good job. And then the same thing for this room here. Like, even if I remove a fop from the background, if I bring up the sketch opacity, we drew the whole background. And we also drew and animate and colored fop. All in one sitting. So you know what? I would actually consider tonight to be a bit of a success. Yep, that's pretty good for the night. Thank you all for joining me tonight, by the way. I'm sorry that, I couldn't have been a little more entertaining. I guess I'm... I guess maybe I just keep thinking I gotta do more to impress you guys, but sometimes just being there with friends is good enough, you know? Fop is the night. Oh boy, here we go. Fop used by force and rope. It was fine. Chill is best. Good roaring night. You guys are unhinged. Oh my god. Yep. Well, you know what we always say. Thank you all for watching. You have a good one. Stay foxy, people. And I'll see you all in the next one. Oh, you guys rock.